What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode 10 of the King McClure Show. I'm your host, King McClure. Excited to be your home for everything college basketball news, notes, gossip, whatever you want. Me and Hank got it here. Hank, pop up on the screen. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, King?
I'm doing, bro. I actually know I was gonna say I'm doing fantastic, but I'm not doing fantastic.
I know you're not. Yeah,
because I've literally been stuck in Waco since what was that, Friday? I had to do a Baylor game on Friday, and I got stuck in Waco, and I've had cabin fever, and I genuinely just don't know what to do with myself. And it's been horrible. It's been horrific. It's been absolutely terrible. But I'm here right now, and this is the highlight of my last 4 days outside of doing the game. I'm supposed to be doing the Alabama game right now. Supposed to be talking about Bediako on television, but we're going to talk about him right now. But other than that, man,
you get to talk about him here with me. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look past the dismissal in your voice when you said this was the best part. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm happy you're back. I'm happy you made it out of Waco. That's a horrible place to be stuck. And let's get into it. Let's talk some college hoops.
Let's get into it. So speaking of Bediako, all right, let's give the latest update of what is going on. And first off, we have to start by saying what we said last week on the show was absolutely right. The judge, we started the clock, yeah, for sure. The judge was a donor. Is a donor, right? He is a donor, right?
He is a donor, yes. He's currently listed as a donor.
He is listed as a donor to the university. No surprise here, okay? But because of the weather, you know, this crazy weather, this crazy storm that's come through, because of the weather, my man Bediako is allowed another 10 days to play. So they extended the hearing by 10 days, and he's allowed another 10 days to play. I think this is absolutely ridiculous, because the only reason why my man is being able to play is because an Alabama judge is clearing him. The NCAA already said no. The NCAA is begging for Congress to come in and do something. I just fear that we are going to start seeing this become the norm, because we talked about James Najee and how that's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Then it got worse by Bediako, and now all of a sudden, like, what's next? And the difference, Hank, is that Najee has not done anything, has not produced. Bediako goes out there and gets double figures his first game and makes an immediate impact and fills a hole in a void that this Alabama team needed. So that's the difference. When are we going to say enough is enough? Because Bediako is producing. So who is next? Who is next, Hank? And that's why I have a problem with this. I think this is utterly ridiculous.
So Bediako came out and said, with me on this team, I think Alabama can win a national championship. Now, King, you were high on them early in the year. Do you think that's the case? Do you think he can be the difference?
I really don't think that Alabama can win a national championship because of the way that they play. I mean, just that many possessions, the pace and the space. I mean, the way that they play and the way that they just fire up threes unconsciously, I don't think that you can win, because unless you get extremely hot in a, 6-game span? Yeah, 64, 32, 16, 8, yeah. Unless you get extremely hot and you're on fire. But in a 6-game span, who do you know? What team realistically can get that hot in 6 games? I don't know. I don't know, because one of those games you're going to be off, and they don't have a way in which they can switch up their style. That's what they do. So if their way is not working, that is what causes them to lose. And granted, it's a fun style for me as an analyst. I would have loved to call that game tonight, because I would have loved to watch them shoot a million threes, run up the score, and get as many possessions as possible. However, in the 6-game stretch that you have to win in an NCAA tournament, Hank, I just don't know if these dudes can remain hot off of all 6 games. Like, at least one game you're going to be off, and then what?
I believe it. All right, since we're talking about the tournament and since we're talking about Bediako, I want to throw a quote at you, and this is from Kentucky coach Mark Pope. He said, "The NCAA might lose in court, but they still get to decide who makes the NCAA tournament. At some point, we have to take a stand and regain some tiny ounce of sanity. This game matters too much." So do you think that Alabama and these other teams that have had these former G League and former players that have been drafted already coming back and playing for their team in the regular season, do you think they should be punished by losing tournament berths, whether or not they earn them?
Well, I mean, here's what's crazy to me. It's the NCAA said no. So if the NCAA says no and you want to take a stand, then you have to do something. So, like, I'm here for it. I understand where he's coming from. However, he's speaking out both sides of his mouth, because I did hear that Kentucky is talking to Dink Pate. And now Dink Pate was just a G League guy, never ever got drafted, never been to college. So it's a little different of a scenario. But like Mark Pope, you can't go try to get Dink Pate and then make a ridiculous statement like this. It just doesn't add up. You have to have some consistency within your statements. But nonetheless, I do think that something drastic has to happen. But the problem is, as soon as you tell Alabama that they cannot play in the NCAA tournament because of what they did, guess what the NCAA is going to end up back in?
You want me to guess?
Yeah, you're supposed to guess.
They need guards in March.
No, oh, my gosh. They're going to end up back in court. And that's where the NCAA doesn't want to be. They're going to be back in court as soon as they tell somebody you can't do this. The NCAA does not want to be there. So therefore, they're going to sit on their hands and just pray that Congress comes in and does something about this. And we got to pray too. We need all the prayers we can get, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Congress, famously, excellent decision makers and fast actors. They always get on stuff right away. They never let it sit for too long. That's our time for that topic. Let's move along. But I appreciate you giving us the update right there. Let's get to this game we just watched tonight. This is we're taking this on Tuesday night, January 27th. We just saw Michigan pull out a close win over Nebraska. It was Nebraska's first loss of the season. No Rink Mask, no Braden Frager for Nebraska, but they still were able to lead for most of the second half. King, what did we just watch? Tell us what this means.
Well, I'm really impressed with Nebraska. And if you haven't watched Nebraska, this is a beautiful brand of basketball. I mean, the way that they pass the basketball, the way that they move, the way that they come to the stagger screens and they slip out of them. I mean, they do as good of a job. Like, the two teams I would say that I've seen that move without the basketball the best would be Texas A&M and would be this Nebraska team. They play a beautiful brand of basketball. All right. Here's what I saw. No Rink Mask, no Frager. Two of your leading scorers who do so much. The fact that you were able to go on a road, go to Ann Arbor, and you were able to almost win this game, to me, is extremely impressive. All right, my man, the big man, the lefty, I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to butcher it. Starts with a B, but my man was hooping. He can pass the basketball. I think that you saw a lot of good things from this young man. He can really, really play. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence did some good things. You look at my man Hoiberg, getting in foul trouble a little bit, but he played well too.
I always like to see when the coach's son can actually ball. You know, I feel like you see his name on the roster and you're like, oh, I know why he's there. But see, he stirs the drink for them. He's an important player, and he's the type of player that every college basketball team needs if they're going to win games late like that. He's a guy who will put his body on the floor. Yeah, he'll make stuff happen.
But here's my thing, right? And this is just me from a hooper's perspective, all right? I feel like in the end of that game, when Michigan really locked in, you saw the stat that said Nebraska went 0 for 9 from the three in the last like 2 minutes or something like that. I think that was because Michigan finally locked in and took away what they did best. They ran Nebraska off the three-point line and said, hey, go make a play, which leads me back to my point that I always say it on this show, Hank. I always say this on this show.
I got it this time. I'm ready.
And I want you to reiterate what I always say on this show. Let's go, Hank.
You need guards to win in March.
You need guards. And what I said, and like, granted, let's put it like this. Jamarcus Lawrence, Hoiberg, they are two great guards. What they are not, though, they are not guards. They are not late shot clock guards. They are not guards that when the play breaks down, one-on-one, they can create their own shot. They can get to the paint. They can kick out for easies, or they can go score. They're not those types of guards. They are really good guards, and that's not a knock. It's not a knock that they're not late shot clock guys. That's not a knock on their game at all. Not every point guard, not every player that's a guard that plays the position is a late shot clock guy. So you got no late shot clock guys, and now you're asking them to move without the ball and to play that same system when at the end of the game, it works for 38 minutes. But at the last 2 minutes, you need a dude that says, this is my team, it's my time, let me get to work. Let me just go cook. And if you don't have that, it's hard for teams to win championships. It's hard for you to be successful. And now, granted, Michigan doesn't really have one either. That's why I think when Michigan plays against the top of the top, I don't think they'll have success. Because you need good guards that are like, hey, this is my time. I'm about to go to work. I'm about to cook you one-on-one. You can't stay in front of me because I'll create for others or I'll get my own bucket. I don't think neither one of those teams has that, right? Michigan just made more plays down a stretch, which I think that no call, that was the charge right there. You either got to call a block or a charge. I probably would have ruled that a charge, but you got to make that call right there.
But while we're talking about the calls, Michigan shot 23 free throws. Nebraska only shot 4. And that was a big way that Michigan was able to close down the stretch, was getting Nebraska into foul trouble, which you mentioned earlier.
And you saw, I even said that. I was watching the game, and when Cadeau fouled, who's that top of the key? I forgot what it was. He fouled somebody top of the key. I was like, all right, go to the free. Oh, no. When Yaxel Lindenberg had that over the back call, he had the over the back call, I was like, all right, go to the free throw line and make these 2 free throws. And then I look and I'm like, wait a second. That was team foul number 5. I'm like, man, you mean to tell me that Michigan just wasn't fouling? But a part of that is because of the brand of basketball that Nebraska plays, right? They're not a team that puts pressure on your defense as far as being aggressive to draw fouls and puts you in situations to draw fouls. They shoot a lot of threes. They move it at the basketball, and a lot of their cuts are wide open because they do a tremendous job of just slipping out of cuts, slipping out of screens, come togethers. They do a great job in that, but they don't have guys who put pressure on defenses constantly by getting to the rim, breaking you down, and then trying to go finish, right? But Nebraska's still a good team. Nobody's going to go undefeated. A little
bit, though. That is Mast. Like, Mast is 6'10". He can get into the paint. He's a good passer, too. He's a very good playmaker for his size.
Yeah, with Mast and with Frager, they win that game. For sure.
Yeah. I would like to see it again. I would like to see those two teams play again. Do you think those are the 2 best teams in the Big Ten? They got the best record right now.
You could throw Michigan in there, and I would throw Illinois in there, too. Michigan State. Yeah, you can throw Michigan State. My bad. You can throw Michigan State in there. And then I would also throw Illinois in there, too. And then Purdue is like, after what I saw Keaton Wagler do to Purdue,
we're going to talk about Keaton Wagler.
I can't rock with Purdue no more.
I
was never high on them, but I can't rock with it no more. Not you letting a dude come to your crib and get a 46-piece chicken nugget on you. You can't do that. You can't get down like that. And for that, I'm out on Purdue. All right. Which leads us to our next topic. We talked about Keaton Wagler, his performance. We're going to talk about the freshmen, all right? But I want to make a point that it's not just the freshmen that make college basketball so good. We got some other dudes that we can't forget about. All of that and more when we come right back. And we are back, all right? And this is no doubt that this is the best freshman class that we have ever seen. And we'll break down some of these freshmen just real quick, and then we'll get to the bigger discussion. But this is no doubt the best freshman that we have ever seen. What A.J. DeBonta is doing, what Keaton Wagler did, what Kingston Flemings did, Darius Acuff Jr.
Yeah, let me hit a couple of these stat lines real quick, just for people who haven't been tracking it. And this all happened this weekend. So if you missed some of this stuff, that is not on you. But Kingston Flemings to Houston, 42 points, 6 assists. Keaton Wagler, who was a 3-star recruit, who was the 150th ranked recruit in his class, 46 points in a win against Purdue in Mackey for Illinois. Duke, just another 32 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He does that every time he goes on the court. It's unbelievable. He's incredible. Then we got A.J. DeBansta, broke a record set by Danny Ainge. I don't know how old Danny Ainge is, but he doesn't look good. So I'm guessing like 60, 70-year-old record. 43 points in a win over Utah. And then Darius Acuff Jr., 12 of his team's 15 points to lead a comeback win over LSU in a key stretch. Nate Ament finally played well. His season high 29 points in the win over Alabama. I could not believe what I was watching. See Nate Ament put the ball in the hoop. And then Mikel Brown Jr. is out there. He was out for 8 games. He comes back right away. 20 points, 11 shots, 6 assists. 20 points on 11 shots and 6 assists. I mean, the freshmen are killing it right now. So I'm going to hit go on this timer. King, you tell us what is in the water. What's going on? What's gotten into these kids?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not huge on Mikel Brown Jr. That Mikel Brown Jr. and Nate Ament are just 2 freshmen. I mean, we can talk about Caleb Wilson. We can add to that list. Abeka Ukori. We can add to that list. But when you mention Mikel Brown and Nate Ament, that's where I draw the line.
Tell me about the ones you do like. We got plenty of time to be haters.
Line because I will not talk about them. Because the way that Mikel Brown looked against Duke. My guy, you got to be better than that. Goodness gracious.
Okay, wait, this is a tangent though. But King, when your team is getting their ass thoroughly whooped, when you are getting like bounced up and down the court like you're the basketball, do you think it's all right to put your head down and just like, wait for the clock to run out? Because it seemed like that was what was happening to the entire Louisville team. I don't put that on Mikel entirely.
I mean, no, yeah, I put that on Mikel because he didn't look good from the jump. Even when they were in the game, he looked bad. Like the amount of shots, the amount of hard shots that he takes, and like the amount of times I've actually seen him make those, like we can really break it down. And I've probably seen him miss more tough shots than I've seen him make. It's almost like every time I turn on television, when it's a big game, because I typically don't watch Louisville like that unless there's a really big game. Every big game that I've watched, my bro goes missing. It's like, what do you do? I mean, no, he doesn't go missing because he takes some of the loudest shots ever. But then just doesn't make him. It doesn't convert. But like I still think he's talented, so I'm not gonna doubt my man. But it's not my cup of tea. Him and Nate Ament just aren't my cup of tea. But with this freshman class, all right, I think there's a bigger discussion to have because this freshman class is great. But the thing that nobody talks about, Hank, is what?
The upperclassmen. That's what you're gonna say right here, right? The seniors.
Yes. This is the best that college basketball has ever been. Because we talk about the freshmen and how great they are. And yes, they are phenomenal. But let's not forget about some of these seniors who are incredible. Not even seniors, these upperclassmen who are incredible. We saw one put on a display that we're going to talk about next in Jaden Bradley. We saw what my man did on one of the biggest stages that you can do it on. I mean, he was easily the best guard on that team, on that floor. I mean, maybe Braden Burries, but easily. And then you look on the other side of the floor, you got a dude named Richie Saunders, who was a junior. I mean, you look at Houston, you talk about Emmanuel Sharp, you talk about Milos Uzan or JoJo Tugler. I mean, you go to Purdue. We talk about Trey Kaufman-Wren. We talk about Braden Smith. I mean, I can continue to go down this list. Seth Trimble. I mean, there's so many good guards. Ryan Conwell, Louisville. McNeely, Louisville. There's so many good players who were upperclassmen who have been in college. They understand what it takes, and they understand how to win, and they can produce. Gillespie at Tennessee. I mean, we can go Duke Miles at Vanderbilt. We can go down the line about how many, Otega Owe at Kentucky. There are so many good upperclassmen playing in college that college basketball is the best that it's ever been. And we constantly talk about how bad it is with NIL and how these players don't play hard and how they don't compete. I argue that NIL is making college basketball better than it's ever been, Hank. Because dudes want money, because dudes want to come. Now we have foreign pros coming in. Now we have G League guys coming in. I mean, college basketball, as crazy as it is, the product on the floor is the best that it has ever been. And it's a joy to watch. I know it's crazy. We do need some rules. We do need some structure. But this is the best that I can remember, even when I played, which wasn't too long ago, but this is the best that college basketball has ever been. And I stand on that, Hank.
All right, so if we've got all this international talent coming over for the NIL money, if we've got players sticking around and avoiding going into the draft because they can now make more money in college than they would in the G League or overseas, and we've got these new and incredible freshmen coming in, becoming stars instantly at the beginning of every year, who gets squeezed out? Like, who are the guys that aren't getting minutes? Are less and less high school players going to be recruited? You know, are you going to have to start at a JUCO or go to a prep school or something and work your way up? Like, what's going to be the change because of all this talent?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that less high schoolers that aren't 4 stars and 5 stars, it's going to be hard for them to really be able to get a chance. But here's what I tell those guys. I think we're in a day and age where do not be afraid. Typically, a 3-star might be able to get a mid-major or maybe some high-major offers like a Keaton Wagler. Do not be afraid to go the low-major or mid-major route, because the way that these college coaches are constantly finding dudes in the portal, but if you go to a low major or mid major, spend 1 year, I promise you, and you go put your head down, work, and go kill, they're going to find you. You will be able to get to a high major and you'll be able to excel. Keaton Bristow at Alabama, perfect example. My man went to Tarleton. He went to Tarleton State, and the guy is now a starter on Alabama. They will find you no matter where you come from.
Or what about a guy like Big Yaks? Was at UAB last year.
Yaks was at UAB for 3 years. Yaxel Lindenberg is another upperclassman that's arguably the best in college basketball. When we forgot about Elliot Cadeau, right? But Yaks was at UAB. They will find you if you just put your head down and work. So do not be afraid to go low major or mid major if you are a high schooler that is not receiving those types of offers, the high major ones that you think you should get. Don't be afraid to go low major or mid major and then work your way up. That's my advice, all right?
We just spent a lot of time on these older guys. I do want to I want to get your top 5 freshmen, because we've had all these guys just killing it recently. Can we rip out a list right here? Can you tell me what you think?
A top 5 freshman list?
Yeah. You still got it was DeBansta at the top. I think it might have been Peterson last time we talked. Has there been a lead change there? Was it staying the same?
I'm going to go, let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, I'll go Caleb Wilson. 4, I'll go Darius Acuff. 3, I will go Darren Peterson. 2, I'll go DeBansta. 1, I'll go Cam Boozer.
So all of a sudden, Boozer jumps to the front. King, what has changed? What has changed since the last time we talked about this?
He's the most consistent. We're talking about college player right now. We're not talking about draft prospect. He is the most consistent college player out of those two. I mean, AJ DeBonta goes up and down sometimes. The 40-plus point performance was impressive. And Dan Peterson stays hurt. His sample size isn't big enough for me. So therefore, as a result, I'm going with Cam Boozer, number 1. The only dude that's played in every single game, a guaranteed double-double machine. My man produces every single time. Now, if we talk about the best draft picks, my list is going to change. But as of right now, when we strictly just talking about who is the best college freshman right now, Cam Boozer is number 1, easily.
All right, so then talk to me about a new name on that list. We haven't talked about this guy a lot, but Darius Acuff Jr. What is it about his game that you like?
The maturity. I mean, every single time we talk about performing, like every single time Darius Acuff steps out there in an Arkansas jersey, you know what he's going to do. You know what he's going to bring to the table. It's the fact that he can score the basketball whenever he wants to. You talk about late shot clock guys, he's one of those dudes. One-on-one, he's extremely hard to contain. He can shoot the ball off the bounce, but what I've been most impressed with is the way that he facilitates, the way that he makes everybody around him better, right? And there's a guy on Arkansas staff that I played against, a guy on their staff that I know is working with Darius Acuff, and you can tell because I'm seeing some flashes of him in his game. That guy's name is Tyler Ulis. Tyler Ulis is one of the coldest point guards I have ever played against in my life. You talk about a guy who was probably only 5'10", but could get anywhere on the floor, could manipulate a defense in the drop of an instant. That dude right there was elite. So elite that he had his NBA stint. Had he not dealt with injuries, he probably would still be in the league because he was that level of a player. So when you look at a dude like Darius Acuff that gets to work with Tyler Ulis every single day, I know that he's learning so much from him because you can see it in his game. You can see the resemblance, especially when it comes to the facilitating and being able to read the floor as a freshman. I mean, it's so high level that you have to insert him in your top 5. Like, he has to be probably a second or third team All-American right now because every single time he goes out there, Hank, he produces and doesn't just produce. He's at a high level. Like, if this kid doesn't produce, Arkansas doesn't win. Arkansas is not winning games without Acuff producing. Like, he is that level of good. He is easily a top 10 pick. Easily.
Yeah. I mean, look, for years, one of the safest bets in the draft has been a Coach Cal guard, and Tyler Ulis, by the way, was one of those guys. And if you're 5'8" and you can score 30 points in the NBA, you got to have some pretty good coaching. You got to know where you want to go. That's Tyler Ulis. So I like what you said. I didn't know that Ulis was a coach there. That's cool learning that he's been working with Acuff. And yeah, it definitely shows up on the court.
For sure. I mean, and then when Malik Thomas is good too. That whole Arkansas team is good. Coach Cal really turned that thing around, and he's impressive. He's really impressive. I mean, you know what he can do, but he did it at Kentucky. He's starting to do the same thing at Arkansas, but he has one. He has a special one in Acuff Jr. for sure. All right.
Hey,
one more break.
Malik Thomas plays like he knows his name starts with me.
Yeah, he ain't got no pass. No, his X button is broke.
They don't call him pass leak. Yeah,
his X button is broke. All right, we got one more break. All right, and we come back. We're going to get into arguably the game of the week, Big Monday. We'll break it down, all that and more when we come right back. And we are back. Game of the week, Big Monday, Arizona at BYU. Hank, I think we just got to go out and say this. Arizona's the best team in America. And you know what's crazy? It's not even close.
It's not.
It's not even close. Arizona doesn't have any weakness. They do not have a weakness. Everybody loves to say they don't shoot the three. Why shoot the three when I can go get guaranteed twos at almost 70%? And then when you collapse, then we can kick out to our shooters and then shoot it at over a 38% clip. What do I need to shoot the three for? What do I need to chuck for? And I think that's what makes them dangerous, Hank. Because no matter where they go to, we saw that last night, no matter what venue they go to, they're not relying on their three-point shot. The complete opposite of what I say with Alabama. Because with Alabama, they're going to rely on their outside shot, and if their outside shot isn't falling, they're going to lose. Arizona is going to rely on their inside presence, getting the ball to the rim, which is guaranteed to translate no matter where you go. So if their three-point shot isn't falling, Hank, they're going to be able to still beat you down. And what I find the most impressive, this is the most impressive thing. Arizona plays 4 upperclassmen and they play 4 freshmen. When you look at the end of the game, who was on the floor? It was Jaden Bradley. It was Braden Burries. It was Karchinkov. It was Tobe Awaka and Koa Pete. You had 3 freshmen closing the game last night and 2 upperclassmen. Who does that? And is able to have this level of success to where they're the best team in the country. Who does that, Hank? Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can replicate what they do.
Braden Burries, the block he had to seal the game against BYU. BYU came back and made it a game late. There was a point when I was like, wow, Arizona's really going to blow this thing. Braden Burries coming from the far wing all the way down to the opposite block to block the game-winning shot. Like, you don't see a lot of freshmen, having the presence, having the wherewithal to make that play. Koa Pete just burying mid-ranges over DeBansta, his teammate from Team USA basketball, keeping his team in the game late when BYU is pushing. You don't see freshmen having the stones for the moment like that often.
You know what? I'll give you even better one, Hank. What made me so impressed about that block by Braden Burries, if you notice in the last minute, all right, Braden Burries had the foul on A.J. DeBansta where he shot those 3 free throws, only made 1, I think, right? He fouled a three-point shooter. Braden Burries also had that crazy intentional with a flagrant 1, which was absolutely insane. Like, that was a freshman play. Like, Braden Burries in the last minute outside before the block was horrible. Like he almost cost them that game. As well as he played to get them there, he almost cost them that game. And the fact that as a freshman, you can show your freshman mistakes. You can do what you did, the stupid decisions that he made towards the end of the game. You can turn it in the blink of an eye and go make the game-winning block to seal the win and to take your team to 21-0. That to me was impressive because a lot of freshmen would have just went down and down and down and just kept going down. But Braden Burries was already down and rose up to the occasion. So like to me, Braden Burries is so impressive and he doesn't get the love that he deserves.
So Arizona was, by the way, after Nebraska lost tonight, Arizona is one of 2 undefeated teams left in the country. It's them and Miami of Ohio. Who counts? They are undefeated. Until someone beats them, they're going to be undefeated. So I'm mentioning them here.
I'm gonna keep giving everybody the eye roll on that.
What's going to be the thing that holds them back? How can Tommy Lloyd, that inexperience like you just mentioned with Burries, could that be something that bites them down the line, or do you think this team is truly bulletproof?
Well, I think that was one of the first times that he has shown his youth. And I don't think in any other game that he's really shown that. So I think that that's a valuable teaching lesson. That's something in which, as your Tommy Lloyd and the staff, no doubt, they watch the film back and they're showing him, hey, my man, you can't do this. Like, this is what caused us to lose games. And now, granted, Arizona's going to lose a game. Like no team is going to go perfect in college basketball. They're going to lose a game. However, I think that we have seen that this is the best team in the country when you can go to Provo and dominate in the way you did. You can go to UConn, win those games. They've beaten so many ranked teams and they've won games on the road that are just so impressive and so unlike any other team that we have seen in college basketball. Their body of work is the best in America. This team is for real. They're legit. If I had to choose, for sure, they are going to be in the Final Four. Them and UConn are locks in the Final Four. You heard it here first.
I like it.
You heard it here.
We can end on that. That's a strong take. Hey, King, now that you're out of Waco, what are you going to do tomorrow? What's the thing you're looking forward to most?
Man, I don't even know. I just need some sunlight, bro.
You play in the snow? Are you too old to play in the snow? Are you gonna go sledding or something?
Negative.
How about I let you get to sleep? How's that sound?
I like that. There we go. I like that. All you people, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to support us. Roll to 3,000. We're almost there. We need 9 more, I think. I'm pretty sure we're at 8 or 9. We need 8 or 9 more. But if you like us, then like us, subscribe to us, rate us. Whatever you want to do is greatly appreciated. Until next week, me and Hank are out.